Hello students, I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to learn about chapter number 3, that is major landforms. In this chapter we are going to learn about 5 major landforms. First is mountains, second plateaus, third plains, fourth deserts, fifth river valleys. The objective of today's video is to know about mountains as a major landform on the earth. Let's discuss terms now. So the first is landforms. Means natural features of the earth's surface. Next is mountain. Means high hill with pointed peak. Next is young fold mountains, means mountains that are recently formed, for example, the Himalayas. Next is old fold mountains, means mountains that are formed much earlier, for example, the Aravallis. Now the next one is mountain range, means chain of mountains. Students, our next term is hill, means a mountain which is less in height. Next is peak, means tip of the mountain. Next is perennial rivers, means rivers which flow water throughout the year. Next is minerals, means underground wealth. For example, gold, silver, etc. First of all, concentrate on the heading major landforms. Students, major means very large. Landforms means natural features of the earth's surface. The earth is a big storehouse. It has many treasures within. In the same way, earth has many types of lands like plains, mountains, plateaus, deserts, rivers, etc. Now let's start reading. Land makes up only 1/3 of the surface of the earth. Still, we know it better because it is where we live. Any natural formation found on land is called a landform. The action of the wind, water, and ice change the surface of the earth by carving and eroding land surface and carrying and depositing them elsewhere. Thus, landforms make up the earth's surface. There are many kinds of landforms like mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts, and rivers. Now students, underline the word formation, means the act of making. Carving means to shape something. Eroding means to destroy something slowly. Depositing means to put something down somewhere. Students, there is 71% of water and 29% of land on earth. Or we can say that land makes up only 1/3 of the surface of the earth. Agents of erosion like wind, water, ice, etc. change the surface of the earth. These agents help in shaping and eroding land surface. These also do the work of carrying and depositing land surface material from one place to another. Due to these agents, landforms make up the Earth's surface. There are many kinds of landforms on the Earth, like mountains, plateaus, plains, deserts, rivers, etc. Geologists study the features of the Earth's crust. Geologists study how landforms are created and how they interact with one another. Now students, underline the word geologists means experts who study the earth. Crust means outermost layer of a planet. Interact means link. Geologists study about formation of landforms and their links with each other. Many processes like earthquakes, floods, etc. are dangerous for people. They also work to understand these processes. Let us learn about mountains. A mountain is a landform that rises above the land around it. Mountains are higher than 900 meters. Those less than 900 meters are called hills. Steep, sloping sides and sharp or rounded peaks are some of the special features of mountains. The difference in the mountains is due to their age. Students, meaning of mountains, hills and peaks are already discussed while discussing terms. Steep means sharp angle. Sloping means slanting sides. Features means qualities. Mountain is a landform. They are higher than 900 meters. There are many types of mountains, but all the types of mountains are having some common qualities. All the types of mountains have sharp angle, slanting sides and rounded or sharp peaks. The difference in mountains is due to their age. Some mountains are young and some are old. Now let's read the next. The newly formed mountains are young mountains. They are less exposed to the actions of wind, water or ice. They have steep slopes. The rocks in these mountains are jagged. The Himalayas are young mountains. They are high and have very steep slopes with conical peaks. Students, underline the word steep means sharp angle. Jagged means rough and sharp points. Conical means pointed. Peaks means summits. Mountains that are recently formed are called young mountains, or we can say that young fold mountains. The Himalayas are young mountains. The Himalayas are high and have very steep slopes with conical peaks. The Himalayas are less exposed to the agents of erosion like wind, water, ice, etc. Due to this, they are with conical peaks. Now let's read the next. Old mountains are eroded, so they are low and have rounded peaks. Some mountains also have caves inside them. The Aravallis in India are old and have low and rounded peaks with gentle slopes. Sometimes a group or chain of mountains join together and form a mountain range. Usually, these mountain ranges are separated from other mountain ranges by passes and rivers. The Himalayas are the highest mountain range in the world, and the Andes Mountains in South America are the longest mountain range in the world. Students, caves means large holes in hills or mountains. Gentle slopes means soft and tender slopes. Passes means gaps. The another type of mountain is old mountains. They are also known as old fold mountains. They are less in height as compared to young fold mountains. These generally do not have pointed peaks due to erosional activities. The Aravalli Range, the Appalachian, and the Urals are some examples of old fold mountains. Mountain range is also known as mountain belt or mountain system. These mountain ranges are separated by gaps and rivers. Students, the Himalayas are the highest mountain range in the world, and the Andes Mountains in South America are the longest mountain range in the world. Now, let's learn about the importance of mountains. Generally, mountains are thinly populated because land for human settlement is less, climate is not suitable, transportation is not easy, and large scale farming cannot be practiced. Students, thinly populated means less populated, large scale means high level. There is less population in mountains because it's very difficult to live here. The climate of the mountains is very harsh. Moreover, mountain area contains many slopes and ups and downs. That's why transportation is not easy. The mountains are very steep, so there are more chances for soil erosion. That's why we cannot do agriculture activities at high level. Mountains occur more often in oceans than on land. Some islands are the peaks of mountains coming out of the water. Students, island means land surrounded by water from all sides. A mountain which occurs in an ocean is called seamount. Marshall Islands in Oceania have seamount under them. Now let's read the next. Mountains are very useful to us. They give rise to rivers which are perennial. The fast flowing mountain streams help in irrigation and in generating electricity. Some of these mountains are very rich in mineral deposits. Mountain slopes support forests which provide valuable products. The word perennial, generally used for rivers, perennial rivers means rivers which flow throughout the year. Streams means small rivers. Generating means producing. Mountains give rise to the rivers which are fed by melting of snow. Fast flowing small rivers in mountains are very useful for irrigation and generation of hydroelectricity. We get metallic minerals from mountains like copper, gold, silver, iron, lead, etc. The slopes of the mountains support forests. There are many benefits of forests. They provide us valuable things like wood, medicines, herbs, food, fuel, etc. Cattle, buffaloes, sheep, etc. are reared in mountains. So, mountains are also useful for animal rearing. Building material is material used for construction. Many natural substances like clay, rocks, etc. we get from mountains. Mountains can be a place for recreational activities. Tourists are attracted to mountains for many reasons like beautiful scenery, snowboarding, rafting, ice skating, etc. Students, today we have discussed about mountains as a major landform on the earth. Now, your homework is revise the chapter and terms that we have discussed today. Do question number 1 and 2 of exercise D given at page number 20.